It's week 1 of the National Football League, and it's presented by EA Sports. It's the Texans and the Ravens, and it comes your way next.
With inside M&T Bank Stadium. A new season of NFL football is here, and we're off in 2023 on EA Sports. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense set to go to work, and it's Lamar Jackson now in his 6th NFL campaign who will lead the way.
All the talk of Jackson leaving the Ravens this offseason was just that, talk, as the two sides hammered out a deal that made him the highest paid player in the NFL. And why would they want to separate? When he has the ball in his hands, great things typically happen.
Now a late signee let go by Minnesota in June. It's Dalvin Cook. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. Well, just the last thing you want to see here in the first quarter of a new season. Hopefully nothing serious. We'll step aside for a moment. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Jackson now. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
No partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. They're all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 59 yards. And the Ravens are on the board here first in the season opener. Well, we've certainly seen this before, CD. No one can quite electrify a crowd like Lamar Jackson, and really don't know what else to say other than that was special right there.
I think you pretty much said it all, but I go back to what you said about electrifying a crowd. He's also electrifying us, and we're calling the game. This guy is simply sensational.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Here's Tank down to return it from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So here are the Texans now with a fresh face at quarterback, the 2nd overall pick from Ohio State, C.J. Stroud.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game, almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not, just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
Pass at 20 for a short gain, 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Justin Madubuike working his way to the quarterback that time. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
He finds his target. It's Schultz. And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. Well, you always hate to see injuries, especially tough here in week 1. Just hoping this is nothing serious. We'll take a quick timeout. A man coming off a great rookie year, it's Dameon Pierce. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 40. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Well, today, of course, not just the start of the new campaign, it's the debut of DeMeco Ryans as the Houston head coach. Now, we saw him plenty with the 49ers, what he was able to do with that defense. Charles, what do you think he brings to the table for these Texans?
He brings football intelligence. He brings enthusiasm. He brings creativity. This guy wanted to be the head coach of the Houston Texans, twice a Pro Bowler with them in the NFL. He's come home. Now he wants to finish what he started as a player as a head coach.
Stroud now on 3rd and 2. Flushed out right. That is caught. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while now, and I think they're executing it even better than what they expected.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Singletary, they'll go up the middle. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Devin Singletary taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Texans respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And he starts his new year off on the right foot as well, as this kick is good. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And one of the things we like to hit on every year are the new rule changes. And we got a few for 2023. A lot are procedural, having to do with deadlines and roster construction and such. But 2 kind of caught my eye, Charles. One is the option to fair catch a kickoff and have it come out to the 25 like it does in college. You like that?
I don't. I don't like it at all. I don't like it in college. I don't like it in the NFL. I want to have something different. And I really wanted the special teams coaches to be a little bit more involved. But I do understand why the league is doing it. They believe it promotes safety, and it's hard to argue against that.
What about, this is the other one, guys can now wear the number 0. We've already seen some make the switch, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Swift, Braxton Berrios, amongst others.
Yeah, and you know something? When you see those guys make that move, I don't mind that at all right? A little more expressionism for these guys. I love it. I just think we didn't go far enough. What about 00, like Jim Otto used to wear or Kenny Burrow used to wear? Let's add that back to the NFL jerseys.
Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this Week 1 contest. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's the 4th-year man, J.K. Dobbins. some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Second and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he's going to be met at about the 43. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. At that time, finally a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. Perfect start to the season on their first drive last time out, able to find the end zone. Now we'll see if they can make it 2 for 2 here in week 1. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. Second and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Now a 2nd and 10. Stroud looking to throw. Now he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the return here will go to the 31-yard line. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
After the interception, here's Jackson. He gets this underneath to Dobbins. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring up second down.
At the 24-yard line.
Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, but their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He'll buy some time right. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
Play action. Now Jackson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Will Anderson, that is one that he will remember. His first career sack in his first career game in the National Football League. 7-7, our score after 1. second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession, as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. Now it's Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete. Blanketed coverage by Houston. Makes it 4th down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
A 27-yard attempt.
Tucker's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Hand off left side, Pierce. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Stroud. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Pierce will try to pick it up. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Stroud out of the gun here. Oh, and that is incomplete. We'll look now at the 2023 draft class for the Texans, and people still talking about the move they made, trading up in the 1st round, becoming the 3rd team ever to make 2 of the draft's first 3 selections.
And what a bold move they made considering what they gave up. But for a team rebuilding like the Texans, I think that was a move they felt like they had to make. Got the quarterback C.J. Stroud, pass rusher Will Anderson Jr. They're going to be the faces of the Houston franchise going forward. That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. And this heads straight to the sideline. I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, they won't. Here comes the flag. We saw it too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. And Stroud now to throw. To Pierce, they set up the screen. They find some open field here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing, and they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
On third down, here's Pierce. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Throwing now is Stroud. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. C.J. Stroud with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Texans have taken the lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10.
14. Ravens 10. Tiny Fairbairn at the kickoff for Houston.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act.
And now off to the races down the right side. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 31 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
From the gun, Jackson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. They go play action now. Jackson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Will Anderson in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that he dreamed of this. How about this for your debut? 2nd sack in the opener.
Yeah, it's great to get 1. That's memorable. 2? Hello.
But he dreamed about it. He thought about it. Did he ever expect it to happen? Probably not.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And that will keep this a 4-point game.
Well, he might be the best kicker the game's ever seen. And we've seen him hit from 66, which is the all-time record. But anything 60-plus, that's a very low percentage kick. Don't tell him he doesn't believe it. But this one winds up no good.
Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50. 1st and 10. Stroud. And his throw is incomplete.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
On second down, here's Pierce. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
This offense so far on third down, no problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This will be 3rd and 6. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the posts. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
And they'll run the option to start the drive. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. That tackle behind the line made by Will Anderson. Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
And he'll power his way up near the 25. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
And it's fielded at the 34. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Dameon Pierce taking the field with the rest of the Texans offense. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Fans, a reminder, coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando for highlights and analysis and scores from around the NFL here in this opening weekend.
Let's put the coach to work.
On the bootleg, Stroud rolling to his right. And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
Flush to his right. This to the sideline and incomplete. Nearly intercepted, in fact, but he couldn't hang on. 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He completes it to Becker. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Another big gain that time. This one goes for 19 yards. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, 43 yards. And the Ravens will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
And there's a situation where it's a tight end. Once he gets that end zone in his sights, he's not going to back down from anyone. He doesn't worry about running to daylight. He doesn't mind running through contact. That's totally fine by him.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's Mark Andrews who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Texans with the football here late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. Stroud now on 1st and 10. He gets this one to Mechie. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Another completion there, and we think back to the draft in the spring. This franchise essentially handing him the keys to the operation, a top 5 pick. Charles, how ready do you think he is?
I think he's ready for the NFL in terms of size, speed, the makeup of him, the character of him. The key's going to be, will this team...
Well, they get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. 3rd down and 13. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe for the run. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. The Ravens going to get one more drive here in this first half. And with decent starting field position, there may be only a couple completions away from field goal range. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now Jackson on 2nd down. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome back to football, everybody.
The Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Texans going to take over here to start quarter number 3. But, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
They'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. He's going to air it out deep for Woods. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. A give up the middle to Singletary. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now a 3rd and 6. Stroud to throw it. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Pierce takes it straight ahead. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 and 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And this will be a Texans first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive they went 3 and out.
2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Singletary here running out of the gun. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Right back to Singletary on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now to change things up, Stroud will throw it. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops and escape this drive.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Stroud. This will be complete to Mechie. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 34-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And they run the option here on 1st and 10. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. Off the edge and right to the ball that time was Kyle Van Noy. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think his big boys up front, that offensive line, they've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So another completion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
He's got room at the 30. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. 4th and short, had your offense out there. That one stings.
And you know something? Your options change dramatically. Not only is it tougher to go for it, but what if you decided just to line up and try and draw them off sides? If you did it on 4th and short, you could pick up the cheap first down. Now, you still won't get a first down even if you do exactly the same thing.
So they come away from this opening drive of the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
Duvernay now going to bring it out. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a 3-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing quickly for Mark Andrews. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Marty, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
There he goes, right side. Inside the 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Ravens have broken the tie. So the lanes continue to be there for Lamar Jackson to run that football. That his 2nd touchdown run of the game.
You know what I would like? I'd like for us to be able to go into a defense's room after playing Lamar Jackson and watch the tape and see how much of a lane was really there and how much he created just through his talents. In any event, Lamar Jackson finds the end zone, doesn't he?
He always seems to, but that's a good point. We sometimes put blame on the defense. Maybe we just need to praise Lamar Jackson a little bit more. Tucker with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Right back to Singletary on 2nd down. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Stroud looking to throw. They'll roll him out right. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Here's Cameron Johnston now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll try and start this drive in the air. A short throw caught by Andrews. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On 2nd down, Jackson yet again targeting and finding Mark Andrews. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll leave it with a 3rd and 2.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. That is caught. And he will have the Ravens 1st down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. To throw again is Jackson. Escapes the sack. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now, because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And incomplete here to bring up 4th down as the rookie couldn't haul it in.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
13 yards the tally on the return there. And the Texans will take over. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Back now in Baltimore. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Stroud out of the gun here. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Michael Pierce, and out of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
The offense on third down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 14. And meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Fielded just inside the 30. Ooh, the juke. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Flowers going to go in motion right. A little jet sweep to start the drive. On this one, may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And they run the option on 2nd down. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper and a 1st down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
That'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Now 2nd and 3. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there, and it's 3rd and short. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed. Touchdown! Odell Beckham from 19 yards away. And the Ravens are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's OBJ, Odell Beckham, who ends it with a touchdown reception. Now this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they finally get to him out near midfield, but he's all the way across the 45 to the 46.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
Houston's offense taking over again. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. His throw incomplete. He he started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Stroud being chased out left. And that is incomplete.
And I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Fourth down, 4th quarter. Here's Stroud. And that is incomplete. Oh, my goodness. He was in his own zip code, but somehow could not look it in. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Cook now off the read option. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down the game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Jackson to Andrews on that one. First down, Baltimore.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands you're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold or did they rough the quarterback? Well, trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that personal foul, that only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game.
Cook will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Justin Tucker.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Tank Dell now to return it. This taken in right around the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Texans offense set to regain possession. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter. First and 10, it's Stroud. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. A shotgun snap to Stroud. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Stroud. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
First down, Houston.
On first down, here's Stroud. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Here's 3rd and a few inches. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 59 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive linemen, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try to make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Throwing now is Stroud. He gets this one to Mechie. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. So that a nice throw, but it hasn't really turned out to be the grand debut that many had hoped for. His team's down double digits. So what have you seen, CD?
About what I expected, really, because for a youngster making his first start in the NFL, I kind of expected to see these things. A few bumps along the way, maybe not the plays you expect to see.
And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sand.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
This has been a rough one to put it mildly for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Let's go now.
4th down, Stroud going to try to throw for it. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard.
13.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record, but everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for the Ravens, that'll be a happy locker room as they start the season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Houston, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.